Hello, viewers. I just got this message from one of my loyal followers, and it's a good question, so I wanted to address it in a more public format. Um, so, a common mistake with paper one is that you think that part A seems like it's too easy, seems like it's too simple a response, and you try to make it more glamorous or make it more difficult. And really what paper one is asking you to do are remember the four basic steps, which are written over there to the right. So, can you define key terms? Do you know what economic vocabulary is? Can you select the right diagram, and can you show it in a way that makes sense to the problem at hand? And finally, can you take that apart and explain it in such a way so that it answers the question? I have apply written over to the right because really, as I do all of those things, you are applying your economic knowledge. You're saying this definition fits this problem. This diagram fits this situation that we're looking at here. Whoa. Anyway, so this is a good question about that because really what we see here, the question is explain how the theory of the Phillips curve, blah, blah, blah. And really what we see in yellow, therefore higher aggregate demand, is the answer. We're saying, why does a low level of unemployment make an inflationary outburst inevitable? Well, it's because of the higher aggregate demand caused by the low unemployment. That's the answer, but that's not 10 marks, is it? Okay, so we need to get 10 marks out of that. I'm going to do that with a diagram. I'm going to do that with explaining exactly why aggregate demand increased. I might talk about consumption. I might talk about maybe some investment spending. If I've got low levels of unemployment, maybe I'm going to be building more factories or shops or whatever it might be. Talk about, perhaps government revenue is going to increase because of a higher tax base and all this. So the point is, yes, it's simple. It's as simple as the higher aggregate demand, but there's a lot I can say about that, okay? The rest, what's in blue and green here, these are very valid arguments. And if you want to read the rest of this, you'll see that there's lots of sense made here. And it's likely that it's this sort of information or this sort of problem that you're going to then have to tackle in part B, okay? So again, part A tends to be, I don't want to say simple because it's not simple, but it's typically a very obvious answer that you really need to take apart. And then part B tends to be more evaluative and saying, what are the likely effects? So here we start to see likely effects and things like that, and that's definitely evaluation.